Peace to everyone. Welcome to Winning Wednesdays for Wednesday, February 25th, 2026. Today is the greatest day in history. Today is the greatest day in history. This device alone is arguably the best invention ever. A few clicks on that thing and I can do whatever I want, buy back my time, cash flow something stupid, and do whatever I want. So that's why I say every week, every Wednesday is the best day in history. Best day in history to understand business, best day in history to understand technology, best day in history to understand financial markets. Every Wednesday, noon Eastern, we discuss current events in the financial markets. My name is Errol C. Mango, and I am a freedom consultant. So as you come in, let us know where you're from. Let us know who we got. Let us know where we got. Who we got, where we got. Who we got, where we got. Today, I've got several articles I wanted to share. I looked at the market right before we went live. I saw a lot of green. So great day to get rich in America. I really have the same psychology every day. Whether the market is green, it's a great day to get rich in America. Whether the market is red, it's a great day to get rich in America. Whether the market is flat, it's a great day to get rich in America. There is no better day than today. Okay, there's no better day than today. All right, let me show you what I'm looking at. Let's check the heat map. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. Okay, there we go. Lots of green in today's market. Okay, mega caps up. Nvidia, we're going to discuss Nvidia. Nvidia up to 2%. Microsoft, same thing. Broadcom about 2% as well. Tesla 1%. Google just slightly up. 0.06%, Meta up almost 2%. Is that Netflix? Netflix up 5% I know I got the bad eyesight, but I think, Netflix is up about 5%, 82.08 on Netflix. What else do we have? JP Morgan up, Eli Lilly just slightly down, ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil's an interesting one. ExxonMobil, XOM. Right there under energy, XOM. Maybe we take a look at that chart. ExxonMobil been making a lot of money. Okay, ExxonMobil. I think they're at an all-time high. Right there. Maybe we check out ExxonMobil. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at on FinViz. Great heat map from FinViz. That's the one-day performance actually. That is the one day. Let's check the year-to-date right quick. Year-to-date performance. Okay, all right, not so hot. Walmart up a lot though, 13% year-to-date. Costco, 15% year-to-date. Amazon, Tesla, okay, down a lot. Microsoft down a lot year-to-date. Nvidia up 5%, 6%. Micron up 50% year-to-date, okay? All right, so this Johnson & Johnson doing Johnson & Johnson things, up 19% year-to-date, okay? Financial resource I like, finviz.com for all my visual learners, Coca-Cola up 15%. That's a lot year to date. All right, so that's what I'm looking at on FinViz. What do you guys think about that? All right, that's finviz.com. We got my guy Howard. Welcome, Howard. Austin, Texas in the building. I like Texas for one of the same reasons I like Florida. Okay, very tax-friendly state. I think in Texas there are no state income taxes. Okay, I think there's no state income taxes in Texas. Shout out to Texas. Shout out to Howard. All right, let me show you what I'm working with TradingView. Let's take a look at TradingView. Let me show you what I'm working with here on TradingView. All right, here's a screenshot of TradingView. A lot of green, okay? Lots of green. SPY 692, VOO 636. What else do we have? NASDAQ 615, Broadcom 330, Amazon 209. What else we got? 68.2, BTC 68.2. What else do we got? Microsoft 396, Meta 651, Netflix 82, NVIDIA 197. Okay, NVIDIA 197. All eyes on NVIDIA today. NVIDIA's got their earnings. What else do we have? Let me see if I can scroll down. Can I scroll down? Let me see if I can scroll down. Okay, yeah, ExxonMobil, 148. TSM, another one, 386. Let's take a look at ExxonMobil here. Okay, ExxonMobil right there. Okay, there's a chart on ExxonMobil. Currently 140. Actually, maybe let's do this. Let's do this. Let me stop sharing that one. Let me stop sharing that one. I want to pull up ExxonMobil on Google, actually. Let me pull up ExxonMobil on Google. XOM stock price chart. Here we go. Okay, let me share this one. Let me share Google. Oh. Okay, no, that's not what I wanted. Stop that one. Okay, let me share here. Share here. Share ExxonMobil chart right here on Google. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on with ExxonMobil. 148 year to date, up 20% year to date. Okay, up 20%. It was no coincidence. Their CEO was meeting with Trump right around the time Maduro went into U.S. custody. Okay, 148.28, 20% year to date. Let's see all time high. Look at that all-time high, 148. I remember ExxonMobil trading between 100 and 120 for a long time. Okay, now 148. ExxonMobil. Okay, very interesting company. When I was in Guyana a couple months back, all I saw was ExxonMobil. Not banners, but what do you call them? When you drive on the side of the street, all I saw was ExxonMobil advertisements. Okay, ExxonMobil knows what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Okay, and they do also pay a little bit of a dividend right there, almost 3%, right? Dividend right there. ExxonMobil. Okay, no coincidence. No coincidence on the ExxonMobil. No coincidence on ExxonMobil. All right. Let's see what else we got. Let me stop sharing that one. All right. Let's get right into the main topic today. Main topic, earnings this week. Okay, I want to share my earnings. Let me share earnings. You may already know. Let's check. Actually, let me pull it up first. I want to show you the graphic on earnings this week. Let me pull it up right quick. Here it is. Okay, let me get to the right picture. Here we go. All right, this is the one I want to share. Okay. Biggest company in the world today after hours. NVIDIA will be reporting. Okay, here's a graphic. This week's earnings. Okay, later today after close. NVIDIA, Salesforce, Snowflake, IONQ. What do we have earlier this week? Let's see. Any big names earlier this week? Home Depot, Workday, this morning Hut, BMO Bank. Later this week, CoreWeave, Celsius, Dell. Okay. Those are the companies reporting this week, but all eyes will be on NVIDIA later today. All right. And those of you that own shares in NVIDIA, keep an eye out. All right. So that's earnings this week. Okay. Later today, all eyes will be on NVIDIA. All right. That's earnings. That is earnings. Okay. Let's see what else we got. I want to go straight to Yahoo Finance. All right, let me share my Yahoo Finance. Share screen. Yahoo Finance. Let's see what's going on in these financial streets. What is going on in these financial streets? Trump just laid out a new ground rule for big tech's AI build-out. All right, what else we have? Stocks rise as NVIDIA gut check looms for AI trade. NVIDIA earnings slam into market with no patience for AI hiccups, okay? Wall Street braces for NVIDIA's report. Let's check out this. NVIDIA report Q4 earnings ahead of annual GTC event. AI behemoth. NVIDIA will report its Q4 earnings results after the bell on Wednesday, the most anticipated announcement of the earnings season. The news comes just weeks before the company is set to host its GTC 2026 event in San Jose, where it's expected to make a number of major product announcements. Okay. All right, let's pause right there. Let's pause right there. Let's pause right there. Let's meditate on that. Let's think about that right there. The news comes just weeks before the company is set to host its GTC 2026 event in Cali, where it's expected to make a number of major product announcements. Let me pause on that, those few words right there. So this is my takeaway just reading those few words. NVIDIA is the biggest company in the world. They're not just sitting around complacent. They're not sitting around patting themselves on the back. They are still innovating. They are still asking themselves how they can improve their product and services. Okay? They are not getting comfortable. They are not getting comfortable. Okay, so there's a business lesson right there. Even if you are a market leader, there's no time to kick your feet up and pat yourself on the back. Your competitors are gaining ground on you every second of the day. You got to continually improve your product and service. Okay, here's proof of it. NVIDIA, the biggest company in the world, they are expected to make major product announcements. Okay, they want to keep their pole position. It follows the launch of NVIDIA's. Okay, so they're expected to make product announcements, and this comes after launching something else. Follows the launch of NVIDIA's latest AI superchip, Vera Rubin, during the annual CES Technology Conference in Vegas in January. More recently, NVIDIA expanded its agreement with Meta to include a massive multi-year deal that will see the chip company provide the social media giant with both its Blackwell and Rubin AI processors, as well as the first major standalone deployment of its Grace CPU servers. Despite the momentum, NVIDIA stock is up just over 3% since the start of the year as of Wednesday morning. Still, that's better than at AMD, small decline, and Broadcom's larger drop. Intel, however, is up almost 25% this year. Deepwater Asset Management Manager partner so-and-so wrote in a blog post that the disconnect between NVIDIA's recent announcements and its stock performance comes down to whether investors believe the AI trade is nearing an end or just getting started. Current price, $197.43 on NVIDIA. Where do you guys think NVIDIA will be 7 hours from now? Where do you think it'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern? What price do you think NVIDIA will be? What price do you think NVIDIA will be? All right, let's see what else we got here. The real debate is what growth looks like next year and 2 years from now. Much of that build out this year will continue to come from hyperscalers like Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, which plan to spend a collective whole bunch on AI capital expenditures this year alone. For the quarter, NVIDIA is expected to see earnings per share of $153 on revenue of $65.8 billion, according to Bloomberg. That's up from 89 cents and $39.3 billion the company recorded in Q4 last year. NVIDIA's data center business will power the vast majority of the growth, with analysts projecting segment revenue of $60.2 billion for the quarter. $62 billion for a quarter. CEO Jensen could also provide more clarity on the company's sales to China. The U.S. has said the company can sell into the country again, but reports as to whether China is accepting the chips have been mixed. Let's see here. Outside of data centers, NVIDIA is expected to bring in gaming revenue of $4 billion. The segment could get an additional boost in coming months, with reports of NVIDIA aiming to launch its own CPU for laptops. The chip would stand as a direct competitor to Intel and AMD, as well as Qualcomm, which is working to win market share in the segment. Okay, market share is a very key term in business. Market share, very key term in business. Simply means the entire slice in that industry. Okay, market share. Let's see what else. Okay, NVIDIA, you can check it out. Yahoo Finance, NVIDIA reporting later today. All right, what do you guys think of NVIDIA? What do you guys think about NVIDIA? Do you guys own NVIDIA? Do you guys own NVIDIA? I own NVIDIA. Okay, I own NVIDIA. I will be watching earnings. I'll be listening to their call. I'll see what Jensen says. I'll see what Jensen says. Shout out to my guy Garnell, Brandwine, Maryland in the building. Brandwine, Maryland in the building. Shout out to my guy Garnell. All right. So NVIDIA is on the clock. NVIDIA is on the clock. Okay. NVIDIA is on the clock later today. All right. All right. Okay. So several articles I wanted to share. One of these articles actually was from a few days ago. You might have seen this. Actually, before I even get into that article, I want to ask. There's several major retailers. Okay, several major retailers that do business. Which retailer does the highest in revenue? Which retailer does the highest in revenue? Which retailer makes the most money? Okay, which retailer generates the most in revenue? Drop your answer in the chat. Which retailer makes the most in revenue? Which retailer grosses the most in revenue? Which retailer? Drop that answer in the chat. Is it Amazon? Is it Walmart? Is it Target? Is it Alibaba? Is it somebody else? Which retailer makes the most revenue? Which retailer makes the most revenue? Drop your answer in the chat. Drop your answer in the chat. Okay. For many years, I thought it was Amazon. I just thought by default it was Amazon. Up until recently, it was Walmart. Okay. Up until recently, it was Walmart. But now Amazon has taken over in total revenue. So here we go. This article is from The Street. Okay. Oh, sorry, my bad. Let me share that again. Here we go. Okay, The Street. Amazon dethroned Walmart in sales, but the truth is complicated. All right, let's see what's going on here. Amazon is bigger, but not the way you think. Okay, let's see what's going on here. And this article is from, when was this? This was from 3 days ago. February 22nd. Okay, Amazon surpassed Walmart in annual sales, driven largely by Amazon Web Services growth. Walmart dominates in physical goods, especially groceries, leveraging its vast store network for fulfillment. Both companies are evolving digitally. Walmart's e-commerce and ad revenues are rising rapidly. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Amazon has officially passed Walmart to become the largest company in the world by annual sales. Okay, I got too excited. All right, let's see here. Okay, right there. Amazon has officially passed Walmart to become the largest company in the world by annual sales. It is a milestone that would have seemed far-fetched not long ago, and one that tells a complicated story about what biggest really means in retail today. Okay, so what's the definition of biggest? What is the definition of biggest? Amazon posted a whole lot in revenue in fiscal 25. Walmart, whose fiscal year is in January 31st, reported a little bit less than a whole lot in sales for fiscal 26. On paper, it looks like a clean crown change. In practice, it is anything but. All right, let's check the detail on this. The headline number is real, but understanding what is actually driving Amazon's lead and where Walmart is quietly closing that reveals a far more nuanced fight for retail dominance. AWS is doing a lot of heavy lifting in Amazon's revenue lead. Straight about AWS, and the story looks different. That cloud business carries operating margins. Okay, you heard us talk about margin. Okay, very, very key term in business. Very key metric in business, margin. Okay, margin. That cloud business carries operating margins that dwarf anything in traditional retail. Without it, Amazon's e-commerce and international segments would still trail Walmart in raw goods sold. Comparison is less apples to apples and more apples to data centers. Okay. All right, let's see what it says here. Walmart, by contrast, generates virtually all its revenue from selling physical and digital goods. When you compare North American segments directly, let's see, I lose my place. Directly, Walmart's U.S. business alone outpaces Amazon's North America retail segment. In the category that matters most to everyday consumers, Walmart is still the undisputed king. That actually makes me think about the pandemic. You might have heard me say during the pandemic, I used to shop at Walmart regularly. I used to get grocery pickup from Walmart. During the pandemic, I realized that I was wasting too much time grocery shopping, so I switched to Amazon. All right, I took out of my time every week, every month, and I realized that I was spending too much time doing activities that don't really serve me. Okay, I could reallocate that time and use that time way more efficiently and effectively. So I stopped using. It wasn't really because of Walmart or Amazon. It was really a time thing, right? I'd rather press a few buttons on a company on Amazon's website, have them deliver groceries in a company I own, and save the time for me instead of driving to Walmart, walking up and down the aisles, waiting in line, then driving home. I can't spend an hour a week. My time's too valuable. I refuse to spend an hour that way of my time again. Spend a few buttons on click a few buttons on this thing, click a few buttons on the laptop. Let the Amazon boys come drop it off and reallocate those 4 hours every month to earn an extra 10, 20, 30, 40,000. Okay, that's me personally. Okay, I'm not wasting my time doing activities that really I could outsource and reallocate my time somewhere else better. Okay, but let's get back to the article. That's just me. Let me get back to the article. Let me get back to the article. All right. So yeah, Amazon and Walmart. That's my little story with Amazon and Walmart. Walmart has not stood still while Amazon climbed past it on the revenue chart. The giant has spent years and billions of dollars transforming its digital operation. There's another business lesson right there. There's another business lesson right there. Even if you're doing well, you still got to ask yourself ways to improve. Walmart at the time, probably company with the highest revenue, they were still asking themselves how they can improve. One way they improved is online. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see here. Groceries are where the real battle is paying out. Let's see what happened there. Let me stop sharing that anyways, you get the idea. I wanted to bring to attention that Amazon has overtaken Walmart in total revenue. Amazon has overtaken Walmart in total revenue. Okay, so a very interesting article right there. I was reading online. I'm an owner at Amazon. I want to give Amazon the business. Essentially, I'm giving myself business. All right, Amazon. All right, so let me go to, there's several articles actually I saw on LinkedIn I wanted to share. Let's go straight to LinkedIn. This is an interesting one on FedEx. This is an interesting one on FedEx, okay? FedEx files suit against U.S. seeking tariff refunds. FedEx files suit against U.S. seeking tariff refunds. Let's check out this article right here. FedEx has become one of the first major American corporations to sue the U.S. government, seeking reimbursements from the Trump administration's global tariffs. The shipping giant's 11-page complaint says the company is seeking a full refund of duties incurred, plus interest. The move follows a Supreme Court ruling that deemed most tariffs illegal. Although this suit does not note the exact financial hit incurred, FedEx said in September it expected its annual earnings to suffer $1 billion hit due to existing U.S. trade policies. Okay, so FedEx is not happy. FedEx is not happy. Yeah, I think this is just one of many companies. The lawsuit is not just about FedEx. It is opening move for a broader capital reallocation story. Okay, cut the check. Cut them checks. Cut them checks. All right, cut them checks. Cut the BS and cut them checks. Okay, cut the BS and cut them checks. Cut the BS and cut them checks. Okay, so FedEx, they want their money. They want their money. Federal Express on Monday sued the U.S. government seeking a full refund of the money the shipping giant paid for tariffs unilaterally imposed last year by Trump. FedEx suits appears to be the first one filed by a major American company seeking a refund for the tariffs paid. FedEx sues U.S. seeking full refund. Okay, Costco has already filed suit. Costco has already filed suit. I'm sure other retailers have or will be in the near future. Okay. FedEx. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys own FedEx? What do you think about these big retailers suing the U.S. government? Okay, they want their money. Another interesting article on the side there I saw this morning. This one right here, Stripe eyes takeover of longtime rival. Let's check out that one. Stripe eyes takeover of longtime rival PayPal. Stripe is mulling on acquisition of all or part of PayPal, Bloomberg reports. Though Stripe is a younger of the two payment processors, it's one of the industry's most valuable, worth $159 billion as of February 24th. PayPal, meanwhile, has seen a brutal stock slide as it's wiped out nearly half of its value over the past year. Okay, PayPal, what are you doing? Okay, get your act together. Your competitors are kicking your ass. Drawing takeover interest from several parties other than Stripe. The company has in recent years ceded market share to rivals Apple Pay and Google Pay. Okay, what's going on, PayPal? Y'all just staying stagnant. Your competitors are eating your food. Okay, what are you going to do about it? Real question, what are you going to do about it? All right, so this is an interesting article I saw this morning. Stripe looking to take over one of their rivals. Okay. That would only make Stripe bigger and stronger. So we'll see what happens. Okay, more than a 70% jump year over year for Stripe. Their valuation, Stripe's valuation just soared to $159 billion in recent employee per share tender offer, a more than 70% jump year over year. Okay. All right, we'll see what happens between PayPal and Stripe. All right. Okay, let's see. Let me check a couple other articles here. Headline: deal in doubt after Paramount. Let's see what this one says. Latest WBD bid. Warner Brothers Discovery says Paramount Skydance's latest takeover offer could lead to a superior proposal to the pact it currently has with Netflix. Netflix will have 4 days to respond. Netflix cut a deal to buy WBD in December, but last week granted a 7-day waiver allowing the company to reopen talks. While negotiations continue, the merger agreement remains in effect. Paramount reports its earnings today. Okay, we'll see what happens between Netflix and Paramount. We'll see what happens there. All right, another interesting article I saw was this one right here. Where was it? Actually, let's talk about this one. Actually, these two headlines grabbed my attention. The fast and growing skills that pay off. Okay, fastest growing skills. Okay, that pay off for professionals. Okay, skills over degrees all day, every day. Skills over degrees all day, every day. Okay, forget what degrees you have. What skills do you have? Okay, skills pay the bills. Degrees do not pay the bills. Skills pay the bills. Fastest growing skills that pay off for professionals. From AI engineering to communication, LinkedIn skills on the rise list highlights the fastest growing skills that professionals should invest in to get ahead in today's world of work. Our list surfaces emerging opportunities based on areas that professionals are increasingly prioritizing and getting hired for right now. Let's take a look at the list, maybe. See if we can find this list. Skills over degrees. Let me see if this opens up. And I'll share my screen. All right, let me share my screen here. Let me share my screen. Let me pull up the right screen here. All right, let me see if I can share this one. Let's see what it says here. LinkedIn skills on the rise, 2026. All right, let's see what this says here. New collar. You got the white collar, you got the blue collar, now you have a new collar. Interesting. Let's see here. Does it name any skills? AI engineering and implementation, operational efficiency. Actually, does it give us an example? Data annotation, Google Gemini, okay, AI engineering and implementation, operational efficiency, logistics management. I used to work in logistics, process optimization, program improvement, real-time monitoring, workflow automation, so forth. AI business strategy. Okay, business, arguably the most, in my opinion, the most important field by far, business. Okay, you're going to end up studying business anyways. You might as well study business from the jump. AI for business, AI for design, data governance, tech-enabled business transformation, so on. Executive and stakeholder communications. Okay, communications a very necessary skill to be an executive. Okay, you got to be able to communicate to different parties internally and externally. Client engagement, cross-functional coordination, leadership communication. You want to be chief executive, you better have some communication skills. Project stakeholder management, public speaking. Okay, you want to be the big boss man? Okay, you want that big title? You want that big salary? You want that big responsibility? Okay, you better be ready. You better have some public speaking skills. Okay, you can't hide under the desk. Can't hide under the desk. You can't hide in the back. Okay, you cannot hide in the back. You cannot hide under the desk if you want to be chief executive. Okay, you got to be the face. Your ass got to be the face. What else we got? Financial operations and reporting. Okay, you got to be CEO and you got to be CFO. You got to be CEO and you got to be CFO. Capital and expense budgeting. Yeah, I worked in budgeting a long time. Cash reporting, financial analyst. I was an analyst for many years. Report reconciliation, gap reporting, so on. Okay, you need CFO skills too. Okay, it goes on. Okay, go a whole bunch. Okay, sales, business development, engineering, education, so on. Okay, interesting article here from LinkedIn. Okay, interesting article from LinkedIn. Okay, takeaway here is we need to develop our skills. Okay, we need fancy skills. We don't necessarily need fancy degrees. Fancy skills over fancy degrees every day, all damn day. Okay, skills pay the bills. Skills pay the bills. Okay, all right. All right, let me see if I can go back. Let me share one more article from LinkedIn. Let me see if I can share one more article from LinkedIn. There's one more I wanted to read, actually, before I go on to some other lines of business. All right, let's see if I can share it. I kind of X'd the wrong one. Let me see if I can share. Let me see if I can find it again. Can I find it again? Yeah, let me share here. Let me share my LinkedIn. Okay, let's check some articles on the side here. Anthropic. I've got an article on Anthropic I wanted to share. Panera Bread. All right. Okay, that article I wanted to share, I guess. Refreshed. All right. What do you guys think about that skills list? Engineering was a common theme. AI was a common theme. Business was a common theme. What do you guys think about that? All right, let's go to YouTube. I wanted to share a few shorts from YouTube. You know I like the shorts. All right, let's see what we got. Yahoo Finance YouTube short page. Let's see. Let's check out this one.
Jensen Huang was born in Taiwan in 1963, but moved with his mother, father, and brother to Bangkok, Thailand when his father got a job in the city. But after a military coup, his parents sent him and his brother to live in Tacoma, Washington with their uncle. Huang's uncle found a boarding school called the Oneida Baptist Institute in Clay County, Kentucky. Huang described the school as admitting a wide range of students, including those from difficult backgrounds as well as international students. But because Huang was so young at the time, he had to go to a separate school a mile away, leaving Oneida to be more of a dorm. During his time at Oneida, Huang said that he would clean bathroom floors while his brother harvested tobacco crops. The pair didn't have enough money to afford phone calls at the time, and so to communicate with their parents, they would send VHS tapes back and forth, relaying what their life was like in the US. 2 years later, Wang's parents moved to the US and brought him and his brother to Tacoma, Washington. Jensen Wang was
Okay, quick summary on Jensen's background right there. Quick background on Jensen Huang right there. Let's see what else we got. Waymo expands robo-taxi's territory to the city. Let's see what's going on. Waymo expands robo-taxi's territory to 10 major U.S. metropolitan markets. Austin, Texas. Shout out to Austin, Texas. Dallas, Texas. Houston, Texas. San Antonio, Texas. Okay. Texas heavy. Orlando, Florida. Miami, Florida. Shout out to Florida. Best state for business in America. Phoenix, Arizona. San Francisco Bay Area. Los Angeles, and Atlanta. Waymo make Waymo make Okay, Waymo is expanding. Waymo is expanding. Shout out to Google. Shout out to Google. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, maybe we check out CNBC's. Let's check out this one on.
Jensen Huang famously co-founded NVIDIA with Chris Malachowski and Curtis Priam while discussing how to make special chips for video games in a booth at a Denny's in 1993. The group eventually scored a deal to build a video game console for none other than Sega, but then they realized the technology they were using was flawed, putting the company in danger of going out of business permanently. Shockingly, Huang was able to negotiate his way out of the contract with Sega while still getting a $5 million investment in the company to keep NVIDIA afloat. NVIDIA would go on to be the world's leading computer graphics company. In 1999, they developed the world's first graphics processing unit, or GPU. In 2016, NVIDIA kicked off its AI era with the development of its DGX-1 server for AI applications. In 2022, it would come out with its H100 chip, which would go on to become a go-to chip for AI developers around the world. And in October 2025, NVIDIA became the world's first $5 trillion company.
$5 trillion company. Okay, that might increase later today. We'll see what happens. All right, let's go back. Maybe we check out a few shorts from CNBC. CNBC. Let's see what's going on with CNBC. Let's see if they got any interesting shorts here. Okay, they didn't even look like they updated their shorts page. Come on, CNBC, get with it. Your competitors are whooping your ass. Okay, we're skipping. How about Forbes? Forbes is a good one. Let's see what's going on with Forbes. Let's see here, shorts. Actually, I got an article I wanted to discuss here with Meta. Let's see what's going on with Meta.
On Tuesday, Meta announced a significant agreement with AMD for the purchase of 6 gigawatts of AI processors. The social media giant may also take a stock stake of up to 10% in the semiconductor manufacturer. This deal with AMD closely follows a similar arrangement the chipmaker made with OpenAI in October. Meta anticipates starting the deployment of these AMD manufactured graphics processing units in the second half of 2026. GPUs are essential for key artificial intelligence processes. According to Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg, the partnership will enable the company to, quote, deploy efficient inference compute, end quote, which is necessary for AI task execution. Meta will receive a warrant for up to 160 million shares of AMD common stock at 1 cent per share, contingent on performance milestones for deploying AMD's GPUs. The first stock tranche will vest after the first gigawatt ships. Subsequent tranches are tied to deploying the remaining 6 gigawatts of GPUs, with the final tranche contingent on AMD's stock price reaching $600 per share.
$600 per share. It's currently at 2 and some change.
As per an SEC filing. While exact financial terms were not disclosed in the announcement or filing, reports suggest the deal is worth tens of billions of dollars. Following the deal's announcement, AMD's stock jumped to roughly 7% Tuesday morning. Rival GPU producer NVIDIA, the world's largest company by market cap, briefly slumped before recovering slightly to be down about 0.3%. Meta's stock also dropped about 0.7%. AMD's deals with major AI companies could threaten NVIDIA's dominance in the GPU market for powering AI data centers and large language models. However, Meta, despite the new AMD deal, remains an NVIDIA customer. Just a week earlier, Meta announced another multi-year deal with NVIDIA to purchase GPUs, CPUs, and other hardware for data centers, a deal the Wall Street Journal reported could be worth tens of billions of dollars, though financial terms were unannounced.
All right, let's go to the article I've got on this. Let me share the article I've got regarding Meta and AMD. Let me see if I could do that correctly. I saw this on Yahoo Finance yesterday, I think it was. Meta and AMD announced 6 gigawatt GPU deal as part of AI build-out. AMD stock jumps. Let's see what's going on here. As part of the deal announced Tuesday, AMD will issue Meta 160 million shares of common stock that will vest in a series of tranches if AMD hits certain milestones. AMD shares jumped as much as 10% pre-market trading before pairing those gains in the regular session. We expect this partnership to drive substantial multi-year revenue growth. Okay, I'm not even going to read the rest. We expect this partnership to drive substantial multi-revenue growth. Full stop. The performance-based structure also tightly aligns AMD and Meta around execution and long-term value creation. So there's actually a short lesson right there. What's your value creation? What's your value creation? What's your business's value creation? What's your business's value? How does your business create value? How do you create value? Okay, the more value you create, the bigger your revenue. The more problems you solve, the more your revenue. The bigger problems you solve, the bigger your revenue. How do you create value? How does your business create value? Meta says it will purchase a large Meta says it will also purchase a large additional CPUs, including AMD's Venice chip and its next generation Verano processor. Okay, Meta's making deals left and right. That's given some investors pause as they digest whether the investments will bear fruit. Meta has fared the best of the group of big spenders. Shares just down 2.5% since it reported earnings January 28. Okay, so AMD and Meta are doing big business. AMD and Meta are doing big business, okay? Interesting article here from Yahoo Finance dated yesterday morning. Meta and AMD. Okay, do you guys own AMD? Do you own Meta? I own Meta, okay? I send Zuckerberg to work every period. Zuckerberg, keep working hard. Keep making deals, Zuckerberg. All right, let's see what else goes. I got an article on Anthropic I wanted to share. But before we get into that, let me share my screen here. As many of you may know, later this year, October 2026, New Jersey will be the AMZN. I think this will be the 11th year of the AMZN. Book your hotel 2026. Reserve your spot. Yeah, October 16th through the 18th. New Jersey. God willing, I'll be there. Come meet with me. Come network with me. If you haven't already, let's check out the dates. 16 through 18. Here are the ticket packages: general admission, VIP, presidential circle, children's ticket, pay it forward ticket, senior military. Okay, so check out the AMZN. One of the ways I built out my network over the years was through the AMZN. Several years, I made it a mission of mine when I went to the AMZN to meet everyone. Okay, I made it a mission of mine several years when I went to the AMZN to purposely meet everyone. Okay, take 300 cards, give out 300 of my business cards, and collect 300 cards in return. And that's how I slowly built out my network. That was one of the ways I built out my network. Okay, I didn't hide scared in the back under the desk. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm an introvert, but when it comes to my business, when it comes to my freedom, I'll be an extrovert. Okay, when it comes to getting what I deserve in my life, I'll be an extrovert. Okay, so this is one way you can build out your network. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Okay, so if that interests you, check out this website right here. AMZN later this year in New Jersey. Okay, in New Jersey. Are you guys going to be at the AMZN? Are you guys going to be at the AMZN? Are you guys going to be at the AMZN? Okay, hopefully I'll see you there. All right, let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we got. Okay, this is one article I wanted to share. Anthropic. Let's see what's going on with Anthropic. Anthropic launches new enterprise offerings, raising the heat on software companies. Okay, you might have noticed somewhere some of the software companies have taken a hit recently. Let's see what's going on here. Anthropic on Tuesday unveiled a host of new enterprise capabilities for its Claude AI, less than a month after the company launched plugins for the platform, sending software stocks into a tailspin. The updated features, Anthropic said, included plugins designed for specific departments within an organization, such as HR and investment banking, allow customers to create customized plugins tailored to specific company tasks to connect Claude to existing software, including Google's Drive and Gmail, DocuSign, and LegalZoom. We think the best way to drive enterprise AI adoption is to build dozens, hundreds, or even thousands of these plugins. We think most of them as mini apps. We think that enterprises will be able to build hundreds of these things and then distribute them to their employees. So whether it's each department wanting its own plugin, whether it's different kinds of workflows or different things that companies are doing, they can build plugins for those that are custom to their company. Anthropic's deeper push into the enterprise space is sure to amplify fears on Wall Street that the company's products will eventually displace existing software companies. The thinking is that Anthropic, OpenAI, and other companies will either build their own software to rival offerings from established software firms or allow business to easily develop custom in-house software. Either scenario could spell trouble for software companies. Okay, if you're a software company, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? If you're a software company, what's your plan? Okay, ignoring it is one course of action. Coming up with a plan is a different type of different course of action. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right, so Anthropic on the move. Anthropic's making moves. Okay, in the AI space. We'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on this. Okay, Anthropic. Let's go to Yahoo Finance. Let's go back to Yahoo Finance. Here's a live look at Yahoo Finance headlines. Let's see what we got going on. What borrowers should know now that student loan defaults are rising. Bitcoin snaps losing streak with 5% jump before NVIDIA results. AI panic is opportunity for stock pickers. Morgan Stanley. All right, let's check out maybe CNBC. Let's go see what's going on with CNBC. All right, let's see here. Let's check some headlines here. NVIDIA and Oracle shares gain. Let's see what else we got. Adobe Research AI referrals and digital discovery climbs sharply on Super Bowl weekend. Microsoft Japan raided over suspicion violation of anti-monopoly. Let's check out their markets. Let's see here. Let's check out markets here. All the indexes are up. S&P, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, some of the foreign markets. Everything very green today. Everything very green. European markets, Asian markets, world markets. All right. Let's take a look at Market Watch. See what's going on with Market Watch. Trump says AI will pay its fair share for electricity. Don't expect cheaper power bills soon. Why NVIDIA's post-earnings report rallies have been known to trigger S&P fund outflows. A little quick chart on year-to-date NVIDIA here. 192, currently at 197. Expect more delayed flights with TSA workers about to miss paychecks as a partial shutdown drags on. Let's see what's going on here. Democrats and Republicans are at odds. Oh, man. Won't let me read it. Let me see if I can minimize that. Can I minimize that? Okay. Democrats and Republicans beefing. That's not breaking news. Funding a Department of Homeland Security with no resolution in sight. Traveling may be about to get much trickier for many Americans as partial government shutdown drags on. This week, the paycheck that TSA employees are getting will only be a partial one. Okay, we've seen this story before. We've seen this story play out before. Okay, and those TSA workers may not get paid again until the funding resumes for Department of Homeland Security, according to so-and-so. It's a situation that has the travel industry worried and warning of disruptions at airports as workers go without pay. Okay, same story, different year. Travelers and the U.S. economy cannot afford to have TSA personnel working without pay, which increases the risk of unscheduled absences and callouts and ultimately can lead to higher wait times and missed or delayed flights. Tonight, I'm demanding a full and immediate restoration of all funding for border security, homeland security, and of the U.S., Trump said. The latest partial government shutdown has come because Democrats and Republicans in D.C. remain at odds over potential reforms to the Trump administration's immigration enforcement practices. Let's see here. CEO of Airlines for America warned that chaos for a U.S. aviation system is in the midst of another shutdown. Okay, if you're a government worker, man, you should know this is a regular occurrence for you now. Okay, this is a regular occurrence. Okay, well, the real question is, what are you going to do about it? Okay, crying and complaining about it only takes you so far. The real question is, what are you going to do about it? All right, let's see what else we got. Why more CEOs are taking a page from Elon Musk and chatting directly with customers. Okay, some headlines from Market Watch. Okay, some headlines from Market Watch right here. All right, what do you guys think about that? Okay. Let's see. If you got any comments or questions, drop them in the chat. Any comments or questions, drop them in the chat. Let's see what else I got for you. Let me see if I can pull up another one of my favorite financial resources. Let me see if I can pull it up. And that is CNN Business. Let's see what's going on with CNN Business. All right, let's see here. Larry Summers to retire. All right. You paid for tariffs, but you won't get a slice of tariff refunds. Okay, not so breaking news. You paid for corporations' refunds. Me and you paid for their refunds. Let's see what else we got. Are China's AI tigers cheating? U.S. rival Anthropic alleges some are. Have you been affected by tariffs? Have you been affected by tariffs? Let's see what this says. Let's see here. Reduce trade tariffs and bolster U.S. based manufacturing. The massive shift in U.S. trade policy hasn't come without some twists. One of the biggest occurring last week. U.S. Supreme Court ruled Trump exceeded his authority and with how he imposed. If you own a business, how have tariffs affected your operations, sales, and supply chains? Okay, one thing we need to do as business owners is continually assess threats to our business. What can go wrong? What can go sideways? And once we identify those things, we need to take precautions against those things. Okay, so if I own a business importing, exporting, and these tariffs are directly impacting me, I have to come up with a workaround. All right, let's see what's going on here. They ask for it to share your story. Okay, so my takeaway from this sentence right here: build a business that cannot be impacted by tariffs. Okay, build a business. Make sure my product or service isn't impacted by tariffs. All right. Have you been impacted by the tariffs? Tell us how. Howard says, my best strategy is DCA no matter what our economy does. Yeah, same with me. Strategy is dollar cost averaging no matter what the economy does. Yeah, great approach right there from Howard. That way your price smooths out over time. Price can be smoothed out over time. All right, how are you guys dealing with tariffs? Did it even impact you? Let's see what else I got. Okay, let me take a quick look at the market before we wrap. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna show you what I'm looking at here. Bitcoin, it looks like it was up 7% today. I wanna double check that. Let me see here. Bitcoin's currently at 68.6, up 7% today. Okay, Bitcoin up 7% today to 68.6, 68,600 per coin. Let's see here if I can pull up the chart right here. Okay, so today's the 25th, so you see that little green on the end there. 7% today for Bitcoin, 13% today for Coinbase, almost 12% today for Ethereum. What else do we got? MicroStrategy 9%. Okay, so far so good in today's market. And later today, as we said, Nvidia has earnings. Amazon 209, Broadcom 332, Bitcoin 68.6. That's where we stand as of 1 p.m. Eastern. Great day in the market to get rich. I believe every day is a great day in America to get rich. Today, Wednesday, February 2025. Today, Wednesday, February 25, 2026, no different. Great day to get America. Great day to get rich in America. We just have to be able to identify the opportunities we have. Nvidia 197, probably going to crack 200 later. Okay, Nvidia up 2% today to 197.08. Tesla 415 Tesla last couple days been green. Okay, a couple days ago it was at 393, now at 415. Tesla. TSM also, let's see here. TSM up last day or so, yesterday. Well, that's where we stand. Okay, and we talked about ExxonMobil. Okay, we talked about ExxonMobil. All right, 1 p.m. Eastern. My name is Errol C. Mangon. I'm a freedom consultant. I send America to work. I'd rather live. You can holler at me several ways. You can get at me several ways. One of the ways you can get at me is through social. Check me out on social at 416 favorite. And my motto is to send America to work. All right, I'm gonna check you out again next week Wednesday, noon Eastern. We'll pick up the conversation. Until then, send America to work. Check you out next week. Peace.